What's up, traders? So today I'm going to talk about two different stocks that I've been trading very aggressively due to the amazing premiums because of Nvidia's upcoming earnings. So we'll discuss both of these two stocks and why I like them, and after that we'll look at a potential trade. Now, if you're new to the channel, my name is Rashad. I am a full-time options trader, and I bring in the bulk of my income directly from the stock market. But before we begin, if you could do me so much of a favor, go ahead and smash that like button. It just helps push the video out to more people. And do remember that this is not financial advice, nor is it a recommendation to buy, sell, or hold any equities or options contracts. All trading comes with risk, and results may vary. Now, as always, we will begin with a word from God that has to do with money, wealth building, or business. And today's word comes from Proverbs 22:7. And it says, "The rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is slave to the lender." And the easy to read version states, "Debt can reduce freedom." And this actually piggybacks off of another scripture of Romans 13:8 that says, "Let no debt remain outstanding except the continuing debt to love one another." And so quite simply, you should not carry a lot of debt, because it can just put you in a bad situation. And this is if you owe another person, this is if you owe another company, this is if you have large balances on your credit cards. So not only is living debt-free something that you'll hear in the financial world, it is also biblical as well. All right, so I hope that blesses somebody. And speaking of people who are doing amazing things, I have to shout out members of the Trader Freedom community. First off, we have Jonathan here who says building blocks, and he showed several trades where he's making a ton of money. And so shout out to you, Jonathan, and these amazing trades. And shout out to Gailey, who is just getting started, but she's already taking the principles and using the stock market as her daily money printer. So shout out to you. And then huge shout out to Carlos, who is part of our 0DTE day trading program. He brought in nearly $4,000 just yesterday alone. So shout out to you, Carlos. And if you guys know anybody who is looking to use the stock market as their personal money printer, tell them about the Trade to Freedom community. The link is below in the description. They'll get my trades, the course, access to ask me questions at any given time, and there'll be around 400 other members who all have the exact same goal. And so come join us. We would love to have you. But with that, let's get down to business. Now, coming tomorrow, we will have the earnings of all earnings. We will have the Super Bowl of earnings, essentially, and that is Nvidia. As the largest company in the entire world, as far as market cap goes, when Nvidia announces their earnings, everybody is tuned in, as whatever they do and how the market reacts to their earnings will have a huge impact on the market, at least for the next day, if not the foreseeable future. And it's actually been very interesting over the past 2 quarters because Wall Street believes that our mega cap technology companies are spending way too much on AI. And so when Nvidia comes in and says, hey, we did really well, that's great for Nvidia. However, it now boosts the narrative that our companies are spending too much on AI. And so it'll be very interesting to see how things go tomorrow. Of course, how the market reacts to Nvidia's earnings as far as Nvidia's stock going up or down is always a coin flip because investors are just naturally irrational. All right. And so a lot of times you'll see when earnings come, stocks can sometimes go down after amazing earnings and stocks can go up after horrible earnings. And so hopefully Nvidia beats everybody's expectations and does well. We already know that they did do well because we've already heard from all of their main customers. And they've all shown the amounts that they've spent on AI and their forward guidance for their capital expenditures. And pretty much everybody said, hey, we're going to be spending even more on AI, all the way up to Amazon, who plans on spending around $200 billion just this year alone. All right. And so some of those funds will be going directly to AI for their amazing chips. And looking at here for Nvidia's expectations. And so we can see that the average analyst is expecting about $1.45 per share for their earnings, which this quarter last year, they did 85 cents. And so that would be an increase of 70%. And that's just crazy to think about, a company that is nearly $5 trillion still growing at a 70% clip. All right, we've never seen this before. I don't know if we will ever see this again, but that is extremely amazing if they are able to hit these estimates, which of course we can look at the last 4 quarters here. And out of the last 4 quarters, they beat estimates 3 of the 4 times. And the 1 quarter that they didn't, they barely missed. So it is very likely they'll at least get somewhere near this $1.45 earnings per share estimate. And so that is amazing for this company. And what's crazy is the expectations for next quarter are even higher. They're expected to do $1.54, which would be a 100% growth rate year over year. So amazing numbers. And there are some people with some very big pockets who believe that Nvidia will do well this earnings release. And so I just announced to the community, I said, hey, between yesterday and today, there has been over $23 million in net positive option trades placed on Nvidia. They report earnings tomorrow, FYI. And so yesterday's net trade sentiment for Nvidia was a positive $17 million. All right. And so that was huge yesterday. And then if we look at today's total, as of the recording of this video, it's at about $5.3 million in net positive trades. And so that is all good info to know. But the way that I've been taking advantage of this upcoming Nvidia earnings is by placing trades on two different ETFs that have extreme amounts of implied volatility right now, which is boosting up the premiums that I collect when I sell puts. And me doing this also limits my single stock risk, as both ETFs have dozens and dozens of companies inside of it. And so let's go ahead and discuss the first one. Now, the first stock is SOXL. All right, and you're probably very familiar with this, but it's basically a 3x leveraged ETF that follows the semiconductor industry. And so this ETF has 36 different holdings inside of it. And we can see here the exact percentages of each of these holdings. And so Micron is number one, and it takes up about 6%. And then Applied Materials is 5.08%. And then Nvidia, surprisingly, is in third place with 5% of this ETF. All right, then it goes AMD, Broadcom, et cetera, but the percentages get lower and lower the further you go down. And so placing a trade on this is basically placing a bet on the entire semiconductor industry. All right, and so at this point, we've pretty much heard from the majority of them, and they collectively are doing very, very well. Obviously, as our main customers are the large technology companies who have already said, hey, we're going to be spending even more here in the near future. And so SOXL has been working out great, and it's a pretty large ETF. You can see here, as far as assets under management, has about $12.6 billion of assets, so it's not a small ETF by any means necessary. And if we look at the implied volatility, this is what I want you to focus on. It's currently at 118%. And this is a very large amount, even compared to its historical volatility, which is at about 95%. And so because of this very large amount of implied volatility, that makes the options premiums very, very juicy. And so I like to go in and take advantage of those opportunities. So let's go ahead and take a look. Now, here I am at the options chain for SOXL. And there's a few different ways we could go about trying to collect the premium for selling puts. Now, of course, most people, they want to try to get the fast money. All right, so most people would probably come out to this very week's expiration date and sell some puts here for this Friday. Now, that could be pretty advantageous because of the huge implied volatility. However, if SOXL were to move down large in one day due to the reaction to Nvidia's earnings, well, it doesn't give you much room to breathe for your trade. And so me personally, I like to go a bit further out. And so I typically go up to 45 days. Now, that doesn't mean you need to go 45 days out. It just means up to that is around the maximum. And so I would probably come out to this date right here. That's about 36 days out from now. We're going to take note of this expected move, which is currently plus or minus 20 bucks. All right. So if we subtract that from the current price up here of $68, then that'll get us to around the $48 mark. And so now that we know that, I'd probably be selling puts somewhere at this $50 strike or less. And so it just kind of depends on you and how aggressive you want to be, essentially. Now, again, like I said, we in the Trader Freedom community have already placed our trades previously, and we're already up tremendously. But as you can see, the premiums are still amazing. And so if you were to enter into it today, again, anything under $50 to get you right around that mark. But say you want to go a little bit more on the conservative side. So maybe you select this $45 strike, which is only a delta of 0.11. All right. And so most successful traders look at the delta as the probability of the event occurring. So at a 0.11 delta, that's telling me there's about an 11% chance that the stock price drops down to that $45 mark by our expiration date. And so in other words, you'd have about an 89% probability of profit. And if we look at the ROI, that's about a 4.7% return. And if you annualize that, that's about a 46% return. And so that's pretty amazing. And then again, of course, if we were to look at the P&L graph, and we can see at the mid price, I'll get about $202 per contract on this trade. And again, when you are selling a put, you're just agreeing to buy those shares at that price if the stock price were to drop down. And so as long as it stays above that mark, then you go about your day. But if it were to drop down, then you are agreeing to buy those shares, 100 shares per contract for that specific company. And so as always, the cheat code with this strategy is to do it on stocks, on companies that you would actually like to own at the price you would actually like to own it at. And when you do it that way, it's a psychological cheat code where you don't really care about the intraday price movements. All right, some people just stare at their screen all day and they stress out about every single little tick up or tick down on a stock price. And that is not the way you want to live your life, trust me. All right, and so again, we can see here if the stock price goes up, then we're in the green. If it stays the same, we're in the green. If it goes down some or even a lot, we're in the green. It's not until it drops below 45 before expiration that we start to make less and less, and then it looks like our break evens right here about $42.98. All right, and then if it were to go down more, then the contracts become worth less and less. But again, you were fine with purchasing the shares of that stock at that price. All right, and then you just turn around and you sell covered calls, which that is a topic for another video. So I'm liking SOXL, and again, this is not a recommendation to do any trade. I'm just showing you what we've been doing in the Trade to Freedom community. And again, we're already up tremendously on these trades. However, the contracts still have a ton of premium because Nvidia's earnings has not happened yet. All right, and so that was SOXL. Now the second stock is ticker symbol TECL. Now, TECL basically follows the entire technology sector. All right, so it has about 78 different holdings within this ETF, and most of the companies are very similar to the NASDAQ 100. However, this has a much larger percentage that is concentrated on the top 10 holdings. And so we can see the percent of top 10 is about 73%. And if we look here, just the top three, which are Nvidia, Apple, and Microsoft collectively right now are about 26% of the entire ETF by themselves. And so by trading it, you still get a huge amount of Nvidia. However, you dilute it a little bit with several of the other technology companies. All right, so we have Nvidia, Apple, Microsoft, Broadcom, Micron, AMD, Cisco, Palantir, Lam Research, Applied Materials, Oracle, et cetera, et cetera. All right, so it pretty much follows the technology sector. And so if we look at the assets under management, it's about $3.3 billion right now. And so not as much as SOXL, but still a decent amount. And if we look at the implied volatility, well, we can see it's about 80% right now. And so definitely not as much as the 100 plus for SOXL, but still very high. All right, obviously there are more companies within this ETF, so the premiums are not going to be as high as SOXL because it's not going to be as volatile. But it's still currently above what its historical volatility is at 71%. And so let's go ahead and take a look at the options chain. All right, so here we are at the options chain, and TECL is different from SOXL in the sense that it does not have weekly expirations. All right, this one only has monthly expirations. And so we pretty much have two options here. We can either do this date that's 23 days out from now, or we could do 51 days out from now. Now that's a little bit above my 45-day maximum. All right, but it wouldn't hurt, to have 6 more days. If that is what you wanted to do, it'll allow you to select a more conservative strike price, but let's go ahead and kind of take a look at them both. All right, so if we look at this one that is 23 days out from now, we can see the expected move is about plus or minus 16 bucks. And so if we take that 16 and minus it from 104, then that gets us to about 88 bucks. And so if we look at this $88 strike, then we can see that the premiums are obviously very nice. Now, again, I don't see anything wrong with being a little bit more conservative. And so at $88 here, we're at about a 0.21 delta, but maybe we want to be a little bit more conservative, and maybe we want to go to about a 0.15 delta, let's say, all right, which will be right here at this $82 strike, and it'll pay us anywhere between $220 to $265 right here, right now, which will be a return of about 3%, which is annualized about 45%. But just for comparison's sakes, let's go ahead and look at the other expiration dates, 0.15 delta strike. All right, so if we come here and we take a look, so we can see the 0.15 delta strike for this date is the $76 strike, and it's paying anywhere between $340 to 400 bucks. All right, so almost twice as much money, and this would still be well below the expected move. We can see the expected move is about $24, give or take. And so if we just subtract that from the 104, we get about 80 bucks. And so at this $76 strike, you'd be good to go. You are out of that range. And again, we would just be hoping that the stock price were to stay above that strike by the expiration date. Now, of course, if you do have a smaller account, then you can just as easily turn this into a credit spread. All right, and so to turn into a credit spread, we would still sell that $76 strike, but then we would come over and buy to open any put less than 76 bucks. And so let's say you want to do maybe a $10 wide credit spread. We can come up here and we can buy to open this $66 put. And so I'll go ahead and add that to the ticket. And so that does two things. One is it will reduce the amount of money that you receive. As you can see now, we will receive about 158 bucks, but it also in return greatly, vastly reduces the amount of money that you need in order to put on the trade to begin with. And so the math for credit spreads is always the width of your spread times 100 minus the premium you received. All right, and so in this case, we have a $10 wide spread. And so we take that 10 and we multiply it by 100, and that'll get us to $1,000. And then we're receiving $158 per contract for this trade. And so we take that 158 and subtract it from 1,000, and that gets you to a max loss of $842, which we can see here. All right, and so I like SOXL and TECL here. And even though we are doing longer dated contracts, on average, even when I use this strategy, I am out of the trade in about a week because we are exiting at anywhere between 50 to 80% profit. Now, why the range? Well, at 50%, I'll exit only if I see better opportunity elsewhere and I want to free up some buying power for a different trade. Other than that, I'm typically waiting a little longer, get around that 70 to 80% profit range, and then I'm go ahead and closing out at that given time. All right, but you guys let me know down in the comments below if you are trading either of these stocks, and let me know what you think Nvidia will do during their earnings. And again, if you want to come trade to freedom with us, we would absolutely love to have you. The link is below in the description. But with that, I will see you guys on the next video.